Hey there and welcome to this PBE update video. And in this video we are going to be talking about the update of the 20th of January 2021. So a bunch of skins were added in this update, as well as some balance changes. So the skins are as follows. This is Lunar Beast Alistar, followed by Lunar Beast Annie, Lunar Beast Aphelios. So they're following up with many of these champions after Viego actually. Uh, Lunar Beast Darius, Lunar Beast Jarvan, and Fiora. Oh, that's a Prestige edition as well on the Fiora one. Then we have some more skins. Crystal Roze Swain. This is definitely completely different thematic. It actually fits him. Zyra skin. Syndra as well. A Talon skin here. Well, that looked like Vladimir for a second, didn't it? Yeah, it has some stuff. So Chromas here. Oh, that's a new Chroma actually. This one might actually be obtainable through the pass. It looks pretty golden, so these are usually obtained through passes. A bunch of other Chromas, including for Darius. And of course, other champions. Some icons were added. And a bunch of other cosmetic stuff. What we're really here for are the balance changes. So first of all, we have a nerf on Sterak's Gage. This item was very powerful, and in theory it's even more powerful than it is, and I'm going to explain now why it's actually not that powerful as it may seem. It's still overbuffed, and they probably have a right to nerf it. So first of all, it has this bloodlust thing. Basically, these stacks can, if you get hit by all 5 enemy champions, you basically start restoring like 1.8%. It's not the exact value, I just calculated it in my head, but it's about this much percent of your health per second, which is pretty decent, especially if you're some tanky boy. And then we have Lifeline. So basically it has this base value of 200 plus 8 per stack. And since this is also colored, I think this also stacks. So basically with 5 stacks you get 1000 plus 8 multiplied by 5 is 40. It's 40% of your maximum HP, I think it is. So if you're a tank with 4000 HP, you're going to get like 1.6 thousand shield from this thing, plus 1000 base value for a total of 2.6 thousand. It's a humongous shield. Now let's get to the part why it's actually not that OP. I think it's a decaying shield. Not sure actually, but I'm pretty sure it's. Is it even a decaying one? I'm not sure. I might have just done something really cringe. But my point is that decaying shields are bad. I don't know if this one was decaying. I thought it was, but now that I think about it, it might not be. You can correct that. So then we have Ravenous Hydra Omnivamp changes. It now scales, and it's basically a nerf. Yeah, if you get to level 18, it's a slight buff, but it's generally a nerf. Riftmaker, same thing, a nerf. An increase to health, though. And with spell vamps items that give health, it's actually not difficult to compare. So basically with these Omnivamp changes, you're not going to buy it at level 1. Let's say that you buy it at level 9. At that point, the value will be 12%. So it's realistically a 3% nerf, for which you're getting 100 health change. So for 3% spell vamp to give you 100 HP change, you would need to deal so much damage that this 100 is 3% of it. Basically, I think if it's 1000 damage, it will be 10%, so around 3000 post mitigation damage, since I think that's how this works. And yeah, you basically need to kill an entire tank for this to be actually a nerf at level 9. So I don't think that this is really going to be anywhere near as impactful as the Ravenous Hydra nerf, because here we have no health stat to compensate. This is the same change as to the Riftmaker, just to one of its components. Now we have a change to Goredrinker as well, and an interesting one. Basically, it gives armor and MR for its passive instead of ability haste. And this sort of changes the way the item works. Because now you can... Actually, this is more of a thing. On tanks before, you could just go Goredrinker on tanky stuff, and then build full tank, and your cooldown reduction would accumulate. Now, if you do that, you're going to lack on cooldown reduction. And this bonus, it's useless on a tank. Now, armor and magic resist don't technically have diminishing returns, but realistically, you're better off building health from one point and on before going back to armor and magic resist. The difference that I'm trying to explain is that ability haste works in the same way now, but with ability haste, you can't just build flat cooldown reduction and combine it with ability haste. With armor and magic resist, they work like ability haste, but you can also build HP, which will increase your HP. I really didn't need to say that, did I? Oh, now I look stupid. Whatever. So instead of that, optimization, since it's not a humongous change, now it's optimized for champions that aren't tanks, but build this as their first item. For example, Talon might somewhat benefit from this, since he does have stealth, but Talon takes a lot of damage in teamfights. It's just how he plays, and the extra armor and MR will help him defend himself. Ability haste lost will be felt actually, so I'm not sure it will be a worth trade-off, but it's basically for champions who don't need the ability haste and aren't tanks. For squishes, this is an amazing thing, since if you build 4 other items, that's 16 armor and magic resist. It makes a difference. It's like almost like getting Ninja Tabi and the MR boots, both of them, in terms of tankiness. Now we also have a change here to Eclipse. Again, Omnivamp change, nerf on the Omnivamp, an increase in lethality. So unlike the compensation which was given to Riftmaker, this one is compensated with damage instead, and a lethality increase at that. This is again a change that will depend on what champion you play. If you play the champion that really relies on the Omnivamp, this ain't good. But for other champions that want the damage, it might actually even not feel like a particular nerf. For example, for Senna, that might not be bad, since she doesn't auto-attack that much for the Omnivamp to matter particularly much, and she does have her Q. So this is pretty much everything about this PBE patch. We'll hopefully see each other again when the next PBE patch is released, and subscribe so that you don't miss it if you want, of course. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye.